I just want to be a better man. So today, the conversation is about what to do, what was one to do in the endings. Like that quantum leap between dying and being reborn. What is that? Like, what does that look like? What does it feel like? I am 100% in that area of life right now, and not only is it, of course, kicking my ass, but I am like discovering myself, learning myself, becoming this next like version of myself, right? And it's interesting because as many times as a person can, it's just weird because it's like in this life you are physically born once and you physically transition away from earth once, but in the meantime there are so many different opportunities to die and become born into the next version of yourself, which of course is an incredibly awesome opportunity that the earth gives us for learning, for experiencing. But it's also like really, it can be tough. Disheartening is the word that is coming to mind, but also just the process of becoming, the process of building capacity, the learning curve, the relationships that come and go. This shit is really tough. The conversations that need to be had, so much is just so difficult and beautiful all at the same time. And as someone who, I don't know, it seems like one of my lessons, like something that I'm here to do, is to continuously integrate, helping other people to integrate, and me myself never becoming like comfortable in my human form, because I am always moving on like to the next level, the next version of my avatar. Helping other people with that process, like some type of transformation doula. I don't even know, this shit is weird. It sucks and it's tough, and I'm like really weird about, like, it's hard. But with that being said, it's like on one hand, what is the point? It's like, what is the end goal? But also on the other hand, on a more macro level, a God's eye view, if you will, the point is the experience. The learning is the whole point. And although the shit is and can be very painful, can feel totally without reward, I have found it extremely helpful to continue to remind myself that, of course, number one, foundationally, number zero, we are all little fractions of the original source energy, that nothingness that transformed into something. Like, we carry that within us, and we are that. And so that matter, that energy doesn't begin or end at our human lifetime. With that being said, though, because we are in this reality, we exist within this reality, as humans, it feels so tough. And every single birth and death that we undergo, pass throughout our lives, it feels like I am being stretched to the point where I might actually die. And I obviously am alive having this conversation, but there is something to be said about being able and willing to lean in and confront that for the greater good of humanity, for the overall completeness of source, just helping to do our part as far as restoring the balance that is existence. Not even restoring the balance that is existence, but just playing our role, moving forward, moving backwards, up and down, ebbs and flows, as a part of all that is a really beautiful journey in a really painful way. And I don't know exactly how to navigate it or what the best way to do so is, but as a 32-year-old mother of an almost decade, a saleswoman, somebody who's had the opportunity to have many different conversations with many different people from all types of walks of life, it is helpful and grounding to circle back to the foundational level of humanity that we all possess, and then that fundamental primordial recognition that we are all carrying the source energy. And this is not to say that this is something that I am very great at keeping in the forefront of my life. Like, I'm a human and I'm a woman, and I, like, my period just started and I'm emotional and, like, just all the shit, like, every single day. But with that being said, being able to still return to the anchor of, okay, like, this is also not the end all be all of all the things. Tomorrow will still come. Tonight will still come. The sleep, the rest, the wake, the rising, like, just the continuation of that entire conversation. It's just something that I'm really interested in diving more deeply into. And so for anybody who hears this and has made it this far and has, like, a question or something to add to this conversation, please feel free. Do not hesitate to reach out, because I exist in, like, existential consideration just constantly. Like, that's where I live, and I am always interested in bouncing those perspectives off of other humans, because we are all that we have as far as coming to a deeper understanding of humanity, and then in turn Earth and our existence. I'm just so curious and also so stretched, like, constantly trying to give myself as much grace as possible, extend that grace to other people, just really showing up as my best version. And life, as they say, like, life will life, and the shit gets really difficult, and it's like, sometimes you just want to lay on the floor, just face down on the floor, like, take me now, God, pick me up and swing low speed chariot or some shit, right? But that is not how it works. And I'm realizing every single day more and more about how it works and how it does not work. And what do they say? The more you know, the more you realize that you know little at all. And my journey to this point has been fulfilling in a way that makes me feel tired, not fulfilling in a way that makes me feel excited, and I am really eager to tap into that point of my life. And so in the meantime, I guess I'm just gonna keep having these conversations with myself and whoever else wants to engage, just continuing to connect to humanity and not isolate and push away. It's all interesting and difficult, and that's all I have for today, so thanks for listening.